Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Of course, if you have a roof issue, give us a call right there 364-1007. New roofing company coming any day now. Be on the lookout. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. I'll be seeing Crystal Poche tomorrow. Need that badly. And ProCharge EV, prochargeev.com. Okay, y'all. Disappointing night at the Blender. Pels lose to the Lakers 110-106. Got up, it started fast last night. Got up by 8 at the end of the first quarter, led by double digits. The second quarter was the Pelicans' undoing, where the shots wouldn't fall. They scored just 16 points in the second quarter. So Pels were down 10 at the half. Then you went from up 8 at the end of the first quarter to down 10 at half. You got outscored 34-16 there in the second quarter. And you really outplayed him in the second half. You beat him 26-23 in the third quarter and 30-27 in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't quite enough as Lakers sunk their free throws late to ice it. BI still limited on that minutes restriction. The thing that really stung is late in the game. Zion, who was awesome, by the way, Zion had 40 points in the game. He had 40 and 11. I mean, nobody can say anything about Zion last night. But what really stunk is in the last 2 minutes when you're in a game, Zion's in the locker room and BI is on the bench. So, Brandon played 25 minutes. So they're still, limiting those minutes as he's coming back from the knee. But Z was awesome last night. You know, saw more of Jonas last night than we did on Sunday, but played 7 minutes on Sunday, played 20 minutes last night, but just massively disappointing. With on your home floor, everything in front of you, and you lose to that team twice. If you want the silver lining, it's a pretty obvious one. It's the scenario. As much as it sucked to watch that last night, it's the scenario that could unfold that we all understand is the best case scenario, which is now you get to play Sacramento, who you're 5-0 against Sacramento this year. Like, that's a matchup you have dominated. And then if you beat Sacramento on your home floor, then excuse me. If you beat Sacramento on your home floor, then you get to play OKC in a 1-8 matchup, which is a lot more advantageous than had you won last night and you'd have been the 7 and you get a 2-7 matchup against Denver. I mean, the best case scenario would have been you won your freaking game on Sunday. Instead of laying an egg, you'd have been the 6. You wouldn't have had to fool with the play, and then you'd have been in against the 3 seed Minnesota. But you had everything in front of you and you gagged it away. But of the remaining options, this is probably the best one. Look, you get to face, Sacramento without Malik Monk. And you're favored in this game on your home floor, and you should win it. Your season's on the line. You win, you get in the playoffs. You lose, your season's done. So go win a game on Friday against a team you've dominated. And Golden State's out, man. How about that? Steph Curry and the Warriors done. Dunzo. All right. Hope you're having a great morning. YouTube, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. I was at the LSU baseball game last night, so I was keeping an eye on both. But I was in the guarantee suite, so the good thing about that is you have the TV, right? So we had the TV in the suite on the Pelicans game, and you're watching the baseball game. So kind of keeping an eye on both last night. So good night for the baseball Tigers. They beat UNO 6-3, 3 homers in the game, but all solo homers. Neal, Travinsky, and Jones, all with solo homers. Tommy White with a couple of big swings that got LSU runs. In the first inning, a little poke to right field, 2-strike count, gets the runner in. Same thing later in the game. I think after Milam tripled, and then White grounded out to the right side, but it got the run home, which gave LSU the lead. That's the kind of thing that they've been lacking, right? It's getting runners, in scoring position with less than 2 outs and getting them in. But big part of that is making contact and putting the ball where it needs to go instead of trying to hit the ball over the fence every time. So Tommy White did that, and the Tigers won. A lot of guys got back on the bump last night and had good performances, which is really good to see. Thatcher Hurd got the start, and it didn't go great for Thatcher Hurd. Gave up a 2-run homer in the first. But everybody else that got on the mound pitched really well. Dutton pitched well, continues to pitch well. Dutton just doesn't walk guys. He's a strike thrower. 2 innings pitched last night for Sam Dutton, 2 strikeouts, no walks. I think he did give up a 2-run homer. But David Coleman only went a third of an inning. He struck out a guy, walked 2 though. Christian Little got the win, inning and 2/3 with 2 strikeouts. Didn't allow a hit or a run. Justin Lohr allowed 1 hit, no runs. Helmers pitched an inning where he allowed just 1 hit. Fidel Ulloa pitched the 9th, got the save, had a strikeout. So a lot of guys got out there and had success that needed to. So Tigers will they'll have some media availability today. They'll practice Thursday morning. They take off for Como, and then you'll have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series against Missouri. Time to get right. There's no you're through the gauntlet right now. It's time to go make up ground, see if they can do it. Okay, let's say some good morning to you, Matt Plavidal. Good morning. Enjoying the day off. Good job working for your show. Love it, Matt. Thank you, brother. Have a great day, man. Go back to sleep when we're done. Tiger Diver, morning, Scone. With the new ESPN deal, how far in advance will the start times for games be announced? I would assume you're talking about SEC football, and I don't think it'll be any different. The only thing that changed because the way it worked was, CBS would get the first game, and then ESPN went in there, and CBS had the opportunity to exercise a 6-day hold where they could wait the results of a weekend's game to see what they wanted to do. But I still think it'll be, you'll find out. Oh, I guess it would be 12 days in advance, right? So on the Monday of a game week, you'll find out about the next week's games kickoff time. Trivia Carter, what's going on? Jason H, bad news birds can't catch a break. Sad stat, Pels have lost 24 games after trailing going into the fourth quarter. Sounds like a Willie Green issue. I don't know what you would have liked to have seen differently yesterday. I think the Lakers present a strange matchup because Willie Green, you don't feel like Jonas. It's pretty clear that Willie doesn't value for what Willie Green wants to do. Jonas, while Jonas is a very good center, he's more of a traditional big-bodied center and doesn't match what Willie Green wants to do. So Jonas was not a great matchup for Anthony Davis. So Willie went small. And that's fine. If you're going to go small, you understand they're going to dominate you in the paint, but you have to make shots. And Jonas played 20 minutes. It was a closer game, obviously, than it was on Sunday. But the key is if you're going to go small, then you got to make shots. And I'm trying to pull up points in the paint. Points in the paint were 62-36. They outscored you in the paint. 62-36. That was the game. You didn't have rim protection. You didn't have anybody that could handle Anthony Davis, but Zion was awesome, and you had to shoot at a high clip. And in the second quarter, they went ice cold and got outscored 34-16. And look, you could say the thing got trailed in the fourth quarter, but they outscored the Lakers in the fourth quarter. They just had dug themselves too deep of a hole, and the Lakers made their free throws late, man. Don't know what else to say. That's just not a good matchup for New Orleans. Wendell Norman, Gorilla, Brian Wynn, James McKinney, what's up? Make defense great again. Morning, Matt. Surprised to not see a big play by Welton Spotsville in the spring game. Have you seen him in any of the practices? I have not. I think the joke there is last year in the spring game, Welton Spotsville I think he had a pick six or maybe a scoop and score, and had a really big day in the spring game last year. And I was looking at their roster, Welton, who is Welton Spotsville? And we had a really big spring game last year, but no, I did not see him out there. Eric Hard, good morning, dude. Hope you and the fam are doing great. Jason H, kicks of the day, just for you, Jason. I made sure I had them. Going with my my Nike SBs with the gum bottom. Love those. Wearing black pants today, so a little white and black to offset the black pant with the blue shirt. Damon Gilmore, Kelly Gross. Good morning, y'all. Jesse Brown. If the Pels fall short of making the playoffs, what changes should be made? Ooh. I don't think they're going to fire Willie Green. But I think they're going to move Jonas no matter what. Like it's just pretty clear, right? Willie, and it's why it was surprising that they didn't move him at the trade deadline. It's just pretty clear that Willie fancies a different lineup out there than with Jonas. There's times that there's matchups that work for New Orleans. Like for example, we just go back and look at the game that they won against the Kings last week. Like this is going to be a pretty good indicator, right? Jonas played 33 minutes, had a double-double, had 13 and 10. Like I would expect something comparable on Friday night because this will be a better matchup for Jonas with Sabonis, who went for 18 and 10 with 35 minutes last time. Like I think you'll match Jonas and Sabonis on Friday. So, but I think that's probably one next year where you move. Matt Shuffle coming soon to a morning scone near you. Yes, the Matt Shuffle will return. But I don't know. You know what? I need to call Toby and get him started. I know the name of the company of what it's going to be. So I need to get Toby started so we're ready to roll. I don't have any concept though for what it's. I'll leave that to him. He's great at it. Tim Gotro, what's up? Let's see. Why do you think LSU is so behind the curve on accepting support from smaller donor amounts in our collective? Yeah, good question. I think it's just they haven't. Well, I think it's two things. Number one, they haven't really done a great job of marketing it, or really they haven't tried to market it. Whereas like Ole Miss and Auburn have really intentionally marketed to their everyday fan. And what he's talking about. So I did talk yesterday about on AFR, kind of about where LSU is with NIL and the collective. And it's good news. Like they've made tremendous progress in the last, I would say, even 6 months or last year. Gordon McKernan told us on the record that last year's LSU football roster, they had a little more than $4 million in NIL money. The collective did sunken into that roster. But by contrast, Texas, which made the college football playoff, their roster had about $9 million, $8 to $9 million in it. So about double. And Texas was pushing this year to get closer to 10. Well, LSU wanted to push this year from 4 to 7. And I was actually told as far as the fundraise, they're beyond that mark. Like they have even more than that. And the other thing that's great news for LSU is well, this isn't great news because it would have been great if they would have come back. But Brian Thomas, I've told you all this, Brian Thomas, Mason Smith, Mekhi Wingo were each offered $500,000 by the collective to come back. And obviously all of them declared for the draft anyway. So that was 1.5 that you had earmarked for those players that aren't here. So that makes you even more competitive in this portal window because those guys chose not to return. I will tell you that there are 3 defensive tackles that I've been told by name that LSU is targeting in the portal. One of them with Louisiana ties. One of them we know is Philip Bleedy from Indiana, who's already been here for a visit. And this is in addition to Gio Paez, who's already committed. So you've got Paez already committed. They've offered Philip Bleedy, and there's 2 more, one of them with Louisiana ties. And the other thing I'll tell you is if they see a starting caliber corner in the portal, they would bring in. They're not bringing in corners just for numbers, but if they see a starting caliber corner in the portal, they'll make a play for him. And I know yesterday, Colorado's Cormani McClain, who was a 5-star, was like the number 1 corner in the country last year, hit the portal. So I do not know. I have no inside information whatsoever as to if LSU has contacted him, has offered him. I don't know that answer. But what I was told yesterday is that if there is a starting caliber corner, like if they can get a starter out of the portal, they would pursue that. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe up to the channel. Ryan Stadler, morning, Matt. Lacey reminds me of Buster Davis, the way he moves in space and size. That's a good comp. Let's see. Is there an example that comes to mind of Brian Kelly fielding the more talented personnel over a more experienced veteran? Cornerback last year when they went with Ashton Stamps. Um, that's probably the answer. Would be corner last year. And then he well, and then he played 2 true freshman offensive tackles 2 years ago with Campbell and Emory Jones. They went really young there. So yeah. Let's see. Eric Bertrand, morning, Matt. Bought a new truck. First thing I did was throw a fleur de lis on it. Fan from Canada. All right, Eric. Appreciate it, man. In Canada, huh? Love it, man. Thanks for watching up there, eh? Brant, good morning. I know they're kids. They are kids. There. THEY apostrophe. Sorry, Brant. I can't. You know it's me. It's me, not you. It's contraction combining the words they and are. It's the apostrophe. Anyway. And everyone goes through slumps, but isn't it crazy that your battle-tested pitchers have completely collapsed for such a long stretch now? I would assume you're talking about Hurd. And yeah, I expected more from Hurd. I mean, your most battle-tested pitcher is Luke Holman, and he's been awesome. But it is fair. I mean, Thatcher Hurd started this season as a top 50 prospect from MLB.com and was a Friday night guy, and it just hasn't worked. So, yes, I agree with you. It's disappointing. I'm sure nobody's more disappointed than him, too. Timothy Fontenot. There you go, Brant. There you go, Brant. Brant, you know me too well, bro. You've been doing this too long, Brant. You've been doing this too long. You knew it was coming. Eli, morning, Matt. It's always tough to predict. It looks like next year's draft class for quarterbacks won't be as strong, which isn't advantageous for the Saints. I agree with you. But you're right. It's tough to predict. Like a year ago at this time, nobody was thinking Jaden Daniels was going to be a top 5 pick. And look at how he progressed. So that is the thing. Like you could always have guys develop. Christian, CJ West offer extended. Okay. Oh man, spilled my coffee. So, CJ West, Kent State defensive lineman. Last evening, was picked up. He got okay, I see that. He put it on Twitter, got an offer from LSU. So that's not the defensive lineman with LSU ties with Louisiana ties. But that is obviously one of them. It's 2 G5 players, one of them with Louisiana ties. And then Philip Bleedy. So good eye, Christian. I didn't see that last night that he had tweeted that. Bubba Smith, good morning. Eric, let's see. I'm glad I haven't given much brain matter to the Pelicans ever, so I would be upset today. LSU baseball's handling that for me right now. All of us. They've both been disappointing. Brett DeGrow, what up, man? Blake Watson, morning, Matt. Crazy to think last year our record, we'd be 3rd seed. The West was brutal this year. Good point. What's the stronger possibility? Beating Sacramento a 6th time or breaking a 6-game home losing streak? I think they're going to beat Sacramento. I know you could say, well, what's the likelihood of beating the same team that many times? Like, you have a team's number, and the Pels do. The Pels just are they're a matchup problem for Sacramento. Kyrie Diggs, morning up. Broken over the hill, Alex result in LSU. Not the biggest baseball guy, but I like the sport and watch every recap after games. How do you lose a game where you pitch no hitter through 5? Yeah, you don't hit, and you score 1 run on 9 hits. They've lacked the clutch gene for sure, man. Michael Cook, what's going on? Weston Weaver, Woodoo, Brant Roban. There have been several series where LSU had the series wins within their grasp. It's a defeated You think it's a defeated mentality, sort of with bad breaks. I definitely think they lack how to win awareness. Um, I think um, game 2 against Florida, game 2 against Arkansas, game 2 against Vandy are 3 games that you should have won. And just those 3, and your season looks dramatically different at 6-9 as opposed to 3-12 in the conference. Even just 2 of them. But uh, yeah, I mean, you got to figure out how to win games late, and this team hasn't done that. All right, y'all, smash that like button if you would. Matt Plavidal, Jay needs to hire a shrink like Skip used to do. There's validity to that. I mean, I know there are programs that have sports psychologists employed. Um, Brett McCabe, who played baseball at LSU, is now Dr. Brett McCabe, who is a sports psychologist. He's written a book called The Mind Side, and he works with college teams, high-level professional athletes, like as a sports psychologist. He does that sort of thing. Jeff McKithen, Brent St. Germain, more than tough loss for the Pelicans. Hopefully Zion is able to go on Friday. True. Deborah, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. James Avery, what's up? Craig Carter, we outscored them in the paint, not the other way around. Did I screw that up? Well, I guess it was because Zion, right? Zion had 40. That makes sense, actually. They had no answer for AD. Let me see. No, that makes sense, obviously, because Zion had 40 points last night. Good catch. What was the rebound battle? They rebounded 50-41. God dog it. They shot 40% from 3. What did AD finish with last night? Oh God, it's 7:57. 20 and 15 for AD. Looking for second chance points. This doesn't have it on here. I need a deeper box score. Sigh. Mark and the Pelicans beat the Kings and Nola. Yeah, they can. They beat them 5 times this year. It's a matchup problem. I think they'll win. Matt, any concern with the Saints not having any 3rd or 4th round picks in this year's draft? No, Lowell, because they're going to trade up. They got 4 5th round picks and 2 6th round picks. You know they're going to package picks and move up. Like the Saints aren't going to sit on the sideline from pick 45 until round 5. Like they're going to trade back up and be active. So it's just what they do, man. They look at draft capital as like credit. You know what I mean? They'll just keep trading future assets because every year they know they're going to have more future assets. Rocky Killian, has the Tiger Collective improved in number relative to this point last year? Yes. Oh, absolutely. How do we stack to the rest of the SEC? I wouldn't even say compare it to the rest of the SEC. I would say compare it to the rest of college football. There's about a dozen or so schools that are just kind of outpacing everybody. And then there's a group of about 30 that are all kind of clumped together. And LSU's in that clump of like 30, but has moved up toward the front of the pack of that 30, I'd say. And then you have everybody else who's just not even competitive. But I mean, Texas, Ole Miss, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, I think all of those collectives sort of raced out at the start. Um, Vlad, weird watching this as a Saints and a Lakers fan. Well, Vlad, I don't know where you're from, but if you're from Louisiana and you're a Laker fan, then I don't respect your fandom at all. I'll never understand how you can be from a place and not cheer for the local team. If you're a Laker fan, it feels like you're a front runner, and I don't respect your fandom. I'm not saying I don't respect you as a human and a person. I'm saying I don't respect your fandom. So, like, if you're celebrating Lakers wins, then I don't feel you have the right to celebrate Lakers wins. Like, I don't, whatever. All right, I got to go. It's 8 o'clock. Cliff Nelson, what's good? Quentin Breakbill, what's good? Luis Alamán, Bart St. Germain, what's going on, dude? Eric, if you had to pick 3 football scholarship players to be attrition, who would they be? I will not answer that question. Robert Mason, more to Matt. The Heat did it last year. The Pels can do it this year. 8 seed going to the finals. We'll see. Okay. Johnny Troxler, Becky, good morning. Okay, appreciate y'all. I got to bounce. Y'all have an awesome day. Okay, got it. Vlad said, I'm from Europe. That's why I grew up with Kobe and Drew. I respect that much more, Vlad. You are completely excused. If you are from Europe, then you get to pick your fandom however you want. So my apologies, sir. Thank you for watching. But if you what I don't like, Vlad, are the cats from Louisiana who go to the Smoothie King Center wearing their Lakers jersey, cheering for the Lakers. I don't respect that. I think it's just really cool that you're from Europe and you like American sports. So good on you, dude. Okay. Y'all have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.